Hi, my name is Nomalangam Shali Moses, and I'm with Healthy Black Woman, and this is my good friend Shaquita Graham with Loving the Black Man and at techco.com. How are you doing today, Shaquita?
I'm doing great, Noma. Just ready for another interesting conversation here.
Another great topic. Okay, so the article that we're discussing today is an article that's up at Healthy Black Woman. It's about Tichina, Arnold's husband, who may have actually exposed her to a sexually transmitted disease as it goes. So I just wanted to kind of quickly look at the article and share a little bit about it. Apparently she discovered a sex tape of her husband and various other women, and then she texted a clip of it to a group of, maybe close friends and family and told them that she's going to file for a divorce. Quote, she says, quote, "It's over between Rico and I. This is where I part ways and all bets are off. I can't for the life of me understand why Rico would video himself F blankety blanketing raw dog, one of his many extraneous whores that trick on him for his money." Then she goes on to say that she's concerned about having contracted a sexually transmitted disease and that she plans to get tested soon. So what are your thoughts on that, Shaquita?
This is a hard one right here because, first I just need to say that my heart goes out to her and her family, her child. It's not a laughing matter. I am not laughing at her and her situation, and it is no way a personal attack. I've worked and volunteered in roles where I see the fallout from this. Like I developed and delivered curriculum to middle school and high school children in the school system related to sex, abstinence, and life skills. And I also volunteered at a pregnancy resource center, which is the opposite of Planned Parenthood, where we offer support and parenting education to women and men in an unexpected pregnancy. So I really feel sad for her. And I say, it reminds me of Dr. Cress Wells, and she always says that, people in the Black community should stop playing with sex because the joke ends up being on the child, right? So.
Right. One of the points that I wanted to bring up is, I know that there are going to be people who are responding with, wow, this is none of our business, because that was my first reaction was, wow, her husband gave her an STD, he's cheating and all this. I thought, wow, this is none of our business. And we know that, but she put it out there, and it is out there. And I think the next thing is to focus on what the issue is. And I think there are two issues here. The first issue is just cheating in general in marriage. You and I have been married collectively probably 25 years. And then so we can talk about cheating and marriage. And then the second thing is the irresponsible behavior. And honestly, the irresponsible behavior is what stood out to me. Raw dog, I think in our conversation before the segment was a term I'd never heard, but I can imagine what it means. I think it means that he had the sex unprotected, and from watching the video, she could see that he was having unprotected sex with this other woman. And that's the part that for me is really what made me angry, because it means that he is exposing his wife to God knows what in terms of diseases. And then the other thing is this is a financial threat. When a man goes out and has unprotected sex with various women, there's always that looming threat that those women will get pregnant and then want to collect child support. And if you're married to that man, then that means that that's coming right out of your household finances. So those are the things that enraged me. Cheating obviously is not okay, but I think that he did it on a whole other level where it's hard to then say, oh, he made a mistake. There's life after cheating. You can recover. I'm not sure if that conversation should even be on the table anymore. What do you think?
Well, this is just a train wreck. I mean, it's a train wreck, not just in her personal situation, but if you're in a marriage if, you're in a relationship and within the Black community, this is hard. So, my thing is, when I used to teach classes on this in my own life, I had to realize that relationship choices are among the most serious choices that you can make. The wrong relationship choice can detour your whole life. And, I'm not trying to say that you could ever be immune from betrayal, but that is why it's so important for us to develop character in our children and to seek character as a primary
prerequisite.
Desire. I'm sorry. Yeah, desire or prerequisite in a mate. Character is when you could do wrong, you do right. When no one is looking, you decide to make the right decision. And I was friends with my husband for 5 years before we ever started dating. And I am not saying that I have a perfect marriage or everybody should do what I do, but I think that is something that allowed me to explore his character. So, this is a tough situation, and it is egregious, and it happens on both sides, men and women. So we're not trying to bash Black men or anything like that.
Yeah. The other issue that I thought was interesting was that she actually, that she took the clip and sent it to people. That's the one thing I think the topic doesn't necessarily have to be about Tichina Arnold and her specific husband, Rico. It could just be a conversation about, cheating, sexual, irresponsibility and so forth. But where I find it necessary to specifically say something about her is that she chose to make, that decision of sharing that unbecoming behavior about a man she's still married to with other people. I get it. Maybe she was angry, outraged, or all these other things, and she reacted quickly. But I still believe that if you're married to somebody, you have to understand your role, and that is to be loyal to them. And even if he isn't loyal, you can still maintain your own dignity and keep a tight seal on your marriage. And this is how things have now ended up on the street where we're talking about it, is because she let it out. And when her husband was approached for a comment, I believe he said something to the fact that, okay, this is a very tough thing that my wife and I are going through. It's private. Please leave us alone and let us deal with it. That's what it should have been. We could have, maybe 6 months from now just heard that they went their separate ways and not known why. She didn't have to put it out there and put him out there. And I think that's the more dignified thing to do. What do you think?
I mean, I'm inclined to agree from the standpoint that relationship is a very sacred thing. So all of these terms, tricking, hookups, friends with benefits, all of that is the opposite of seeing relationships and sex as sacred. And the reason why I say sacred, not from a standpoint of religion or anything, but it has the potential to cause great harm and damage. So so you need to be mature in a relationship. That kind of goes back to how you're saying protecting your relationship, protecting yourself. These are parts of you. And that, that dictates who you're in relationship with and who you share your body with. I try to let my children know, you only have one body. You can get new clothes, new shoes, new money, all of that, but you only have one body. So you have to be careful about what you do with it. And that's why, the messages in the media, the music can be so dangerous because they do promote a certain culture, what people are calling like the hood culture or slut, the slut culture. I don't know what they call it, the home pouring culture or whatever. Yeah, thoughts, and we shouldn't be slut shaming. Okay, well, we don't slut shame, which I'm not saying I'm an advocate of, then we are in a sense promoting this behavior as nothing wrong with it, this reckless behavior. And, I try to, introduce books and literature to my children to begin explaining sex early from the standpoint of about a relationship. It is about family. And I love this one sex educator who's awesome. Her name is Jackie Bruton. And she goes into high schools and I think middle schools, and she has some videos that really cultivate an understanding, a comprehensive understanding of the role in sex in your life. So I think the education is important and all of that.
I agree with you. Well, this has definitely been an interesting conversation. And again, just as with most of our conversations, I hope that it would be an ongoing conversation. It's not just about Tichina Arnold and her current situation. It's a broader conversation about sexual responsibility and sexual irresponsibility. And I just wanted to say one thing. I noticed you said that, relationships and marriages are very, they have the power to, change your life very negatively. But I also want to say they have the power to change it very positively. They're just powerful, yes. And you can take it one way or you can take it another way. But I want to thank you, Shaquita, for joining me on this interesting topic. For those of you who don't know, this is Shaquita Graham, and she is the founder of atechco.com as well as lovingtheblackman.com. She's a married woman with 2 kids, so I definitely value her opinion on this topic. My name is Nomalangam Sally Moses with healthyblackwoman.com, and again, you can find this article about Tichina Arnold at healthyblackwoman.com, and this has been a segment of Your Black Women, where Black women keep it real. Thank you.
Bye.